Growing up, I didn't realize that I had everything. A lot of times I've started off being just a kid, and I realized that there's more to life, especially when it comes to being somebody great and being amazing. This is part one, episode one, Life of Minakhom. This is going to be an audio vlog of creating something, a way to connect with other people who don't really understand me or know me, and a way for them to see why I do the things I do. And I want to help you out. This is for people who have actually struggled with certain issues they've had or things that I've had. And a lot of the times, I'm an entrepreneur, digital marketer, son, friend. We can get into that a little bit later and how I'm managing it and how I'm solving those issues. But at the end of the day, it's trying to find your why, trying to be the best version of yourself. And that's what I'm going for. I realize that deep down, I just want to be able to express myself creatively. I want to be able to just speak from my heart. I want to be more, I don't even want to say authentic. I just want to be me. I'm tired of like sharing people that I need to be some way or I need to do something and I need to achieve something. Like, why can't I just like be myself and hopefully people can resonate with that, right? It all starts with putting ourselves out there. I just want a place where I share my knowledge and things that have been affecting me and creating solutions and game plans and strategies on how I can solve your problems too. A lot of the times I've always struggled with, big time insecurities, big time thinking about I'm not enough, I can't be enough. Maintaining friendships is one of the same. Once you start growing older, you realize that you have to be the one in reaching out to people, asking if they want to hang out, asking if they want to do things. But for me, I grew up, you know, with a good community and a good amount of friends and best friends even. But when you grow up, life starts to get hectic. Everybody's got their own lives and you tend to fall apart. And that's okay. I used to play a lot of video games. I used to play a lot of sports too. And I mean, I still play sports actually, because I think you need to be very healthy. You need to focus on your mind, body, and spirit. And when you put those all together, then it just becomes amazing. Other people can't see you for who you are. You might have to pivot and change and be okay with it. Because the only person that's going to live in your body is just you. And there's nobody else other than you. So make sure you're doing the best you can for yourself. Make sure you're eating healthy. Make sure you're dressing nice. Make sure you're cleaning after yourself. Make sure you take a shower. Make sure you brush your teeth. Make sure you, I know it sounds redundant and you probably might be hearing this and you're like, duh, those are simple things. But sometimes doing the little things are hard. At a point in my life, I just didn't care. And I didn't know what to do after that. All I could do was just struggle. And that's where I found out that I'm much more happier when I'm more creative, more focusing on the things that I want to do, not somebody else. And to put it plainly, it's been working out for me. I wanted to do digital marketing. I wanted to grow businesses. I want to create a finance company. I wanted to learn about neuroscience. And I want to share those teachings with everybody as much as I can. I may be something of a nobody right now, but, in a year's time or even 2 years' time or something like that, maybe I'll be bigger and this will be a track record of who I'm going to become. I've already started to work on a lot of different types of projects in my life. Used to do digital marketing for a physical therapy brand called Rehab United. And from there, I helped out physical therapists get more jobs, get more PTs coming to the clinics, things like that. I helped out with their fitness department too. So they had a fitness department called, I think it was like Rehab United Fit, Forfeit or something like that. But essentially, I moved on and took that job and learned that experience and applied it to a Fortune 500 company called Thomson Reuters. where I learned how to help out lawyers. And from there, I just kept on growing. And I wanted to share this because I wanted to let you know that before doing all that, God knows what I was doing. I was just lost. If I'm being honest, such a blur from 18 to like 23. And I can't, honestly, I had a lot of insecurities. I actually went to UC Merced for 1 year and came back because it didn't feel right for me to be up there. I was kind of alone. All I did was play video games anyways, and I wasn't really taking my academics really seriously. And I made a lot of friends and try to do as much as I can and socialize, but the quality that I had over there of life from living in San Diego was much different. And I was just like, well, at least I gave it a shot. I try to do business and agriculture because in my head, I thought, agriculture, business, I'm going to try something new, go out there in the fields and test things out. But at some point, I also realized that it was my sister's dream to go to college and do these things. She's like, "You should go to school, go to school." I could have went to SFSU too, or state, or any of the other types of UCs, but to me, I wanted to do my own path, and I wanted to try new things and go out in the countryside and try to figure out a cool solution for the new world. I even joined hackathons and won one, but the entire time I was sad. I was trying to learn and read and trying to be like, this is what success is. This is what success is. And the more I kept on going at it, it just made me sadder and sadder and sadder. It's hard when you're living on your own and all you have is a computer and your bed, and all you wanted was success. You wanted to figure things out. And at the end of it, all I did was just play video games endlessly. And I bet a lot of people don't know this about me, but I used to play a shit ton of games, not even with my friends, but it was just for me. It was depressing to me. And that's why now, at this point in my life, I haven't touched a video game in forever. If I do, it's usually just like a quick on my phone playing Mobile Legends. And after that, I'm just reading, learning, and actually mm, building habits that I like in my personal life. So I don't have to feel so empty and alone. But yeah, after that, after going through that, I came back home in San Diego and I just like s- picked up learning digital marketing. Well, in the beginning, I actually just didn't know what to do, so I just did valeting. I worked at like Yogurtland, and I was just lost again, still trying to figure things out. I mean, I was trying to do different business models and stuff like that, but mostly I was just going to school, doing community college, and I felt so, I don't know, I felt so beta and like just so like not me. I wasn't able to be creative. I wasn't able to do anything. I was just going with the motions. And I felt with that like early on, right after school. And those are the things that, usually you have those midlife crises a little bit later. But for me, I was just like, this stuff is not for me. School, I mean, I love learning and I love educating myself, but going to a place and just having your own rules and your own guidelines as an adult, you're not, for me, I wasn't well equipped with that. I was just going with the motions, hanging out, even kept on playing games and didn't really see a path forward. And then one day I saw kind of a shining light. I saw digital marketing. It said I took the Seth Himes blueprint. It was get a 60K job a year doing digital marketing. When I saw that, I was like, oh, all right, well, that seems to be a nice path for me. And I ran with it. And that's where I started at Rehab United. That was my first job, getting about 25 to $30 an hour. And then after that, I went to Rehab United and made about 35 to $40 an hour. And then as time went on, COVID hit. I was still working there. Things weren't too bad, but I just had lack of ambition too from there. Not because I knew what I was doing, but it was because I would want to sleep in. I had no structure. I was just going with the motions again. I was just like, oh, digital marketing. Cool. Awesome. This is what I want to do. And then I helped them out. I figured out landing pages, did Google Ads, SEO, all these stuff, and I was helping people. But I felt like a piece of a cog when I was in there. And when I woke up, I just had my meetings. Well, they were good people, and I love the people, and they were always willing to help me out. But on my end, I just wasn't able to follow through with a lot of things. You know, missing deadlines. I think it's just because I was young and just stupid. But I don't necessarily think I'm stupid. I think I just didn't understand the value of work and how you can appreciate something like that. Then I decided to do my own thing, do entrepreneurship, but all those bad habits kind of follow with you. And you have to really look at yourself and be like, is this what you want to do? And I want to preface that when I was a young kid, I wanted to become president. And maybe one of you guys also believe in being the president, and trying to be something amazing. And all your life, everybody's constantly telling you, you're amazing, keep going, you're great. And then the moment you're not great, that's when you start to fall off. When you're not seeing the results that you thought you would be seeing, you think you're doing the right thing, or maybe you haven't even thought about the right thing. What is it that you want in life? And that's where I came up on like Dan Pena and people like that, John Assaraf, Tony Robbins, self development. I learned a lot about that when I was joining during my figuring myself era I was doing. I was at community college, was fixing myself a little bit, experimenting, seeing what's out there in the world. I love conversating and I love educating myself. And I even sold, I remember in high school, I was like selling Cutco knives and, a growth mindset was always instilled into me. And as I grew up older too, it's like I love to read, but it was kind of hard for me to focus on reading. I had a lot of issues with trying to stay stable and trying to look at the page and constantly going through it. I have a lack of dopamine issues with my brain. A lot of people call it ADHD, but I don't know. I treat it as like a Ferrari as a brain without any brakes, and I'm not using it to limit myself. I'm just labeling it so we can understand better about who we are. The common trends and the issues that I'm having all the time and throughout my life have always been those issues. It's good to label those things and just like being able to create a solution for yourself rather than I will never let it define me, but I will always do my best to create an opportunity for myself because I'm a very optimistic guy and I feel like everybody should be optimistic as well. Because when you're optimistic in a world of pessimists, it's easy to win. And I developed a lot of solutions for other people. I tried out different things in my life. I tried out To Ride. I was a 3D marketing business. There's 3D printing business, and I had my friend. He was my best friend, but he doesn't see it that way. But I don't know. I always see my friends as close friends. I used to have a close group where I used to play a lot of video games and things like that. As life went on, there's things that they didn't like that I was doing and things that made me seem like a quote unquote scamfluencer. But I think some of these things happen when you start to put yourself out there a lot more and you start to really show who you are as a person and what you want to do in your life. And I know it's hard for a lot of people to put things out on the internet to share with other people, but for me, I just think that it's what we should do. It's what we're meant to share our specific problems and create solutions for it. And what helped me is I created therapy sessions for myself and I started trying to rebuilding friendships is very difficult after you kind of quote unquote burn them. But I never really thought I burned those relationships, but I think that they thought that though. So it's to each their own, I guess. When you guys are dealing with issues like that with friends and lack of connection from that, it's sometimes hard to be the best version of yourself when you have family or friends telling you all these things that you're not that way. Losing friends along the way, losing close people that you thought were going to be your friends for a long time. But hey, life happens and you'll find your tribe and find people who you connect with, mental, spiritual, financial wavelength as you are, and life will take off for you. And you'll smile and you'll shine brighter than any other superstar in your life. Not saying that my friends are bad or anything like that, but, I love them to death too, and they're all amazing people. But there's things that I wanna do in my life, and this is one of them. You know, being able to shine bright and share my message with other people. A lot of times we all struggle with ourselves, and I constantly struggle with myself, and I can only talk about me. I have had bad habits on creating systems in place to really succeed because I have big dreams and big goals in my life. I want to become the first loud billionaire. I want to give my parents $1 million homes. And there's one thing you need to ask yourself: Are you interested or are you committed? And if you're interested, then you won't even care about it. And sure, it'll come in, and then you'll either want it or not. But when you're committed, that's when you become something that will make sure it happens because you're committed to the actual goal. And I learned this from John Assaraf, one of the local San Diego billionaires here. And as you progress in life, you have to figure out like who has done what you've done before and learn it and apply it and do those things. But keep on going. Like, keep on pushing through. Don't stop. I just as life keeps going on, there's only one more thing that you need to do is just to put your heart and soul into it and, you know, keep going. I deal with a lot of internal struggles, but also externally, I'm really good at smiling and talking to people. And I really, really love enjoying conversations with people and getting to connect with somebody on a deeper level. But I guess it's hard to make everybody happy because it's impossible. And one of the biggest things is like I wasn't happy. And I think that's what made everybody else not happy because they saw me as, I was just unhappy and I couldn't, fill anybody else's cup. You'll lose friends, you'll gain friends, you'll find people who you care about. And that's just life. You can always care about people, but remember, you're just you. And you have to take care of you first before anything else. And when you do that, then you can start to really, really, help out as many people as you can in this world. And that's what it's all about: consistent effort into life. And it's about the process too, like going with emotions, doing things that you should do. That concludes my conversation with myself. And whoever's listening, I know that this might be a little bit personal about talking about my life and my friends and whatnot, but I feel like this could be somebody who needs to hear this when they're starting out too. Because if I had somebody to learn and listen to that told me, hey, look, this is thing that you're going to choose for your life, it has to be something worth chasing after. And you have to make the decision first before you can even ultimately get that goal. I made the decision to become the best version of myself and I need to stick to it. Things that happen along the way generally are difficult. And if you're not willing to do difficult things, to struggle, then you won't really have the most passionate, most amazing life that you can possibly live. You're just gonna drift like how I was in the very beginning, just drifting. But now I'm running a digital marketing agency focused on auto repair shop industries, and I'm building a finance company called Reveal Lending. And I every single step forward is just another piece of me becoming the better version. And I'm just gonna keep growing, keep scaling, and keep on learning. So keep on thriving, guys. Be the best version of yourself because life's too short.